Everybody, welcome to Snow Talk on this Friday, and this is usually where we try to go in a little more detail on the pattern ahead as much as I can in my limited time. First off on the board, kind of split up some ideas here on dates to try to narrow down some of the impulses that we are finding on the data that is going to be passing through our area. One, of course, is going to be our late Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday event, part of Wednesday, but overall we'll stick with just the period here of Monday and Tuesday. And then another one that will pass through on Friday the 12th. And then we've got the Valentine's storm that some models have, some do not have. And I'll try to explain that in just a second. First off, today, though, nice and quiet. The radar picking up anything. In fact, it's just the high-thin cirrus clouds. Temperatures in the mid-40s. At the moment, 47 in Bedford, 45 in Jasper. We should climb another few degrees. And then later on tonight, we'll chill down to around 30. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, good chance to hit that 50-degree mark, if not go a little higher by the afternoon. Now, Sunday, we have a stronger flow out of the south, so we're going to quickly get into the 50s, but we're going to get cut off at the pass because clouds will increase. And then initially, Sunday night, this looks to be rain, but as we get the colder air wrapped in behind this, that is when we go to snow. But notice temperatures for most of us, they're above freezing for the morning commute, even throughout midday. On Monday will be above freezing but cold enough to snow. So it looks to be wet, maybe some grassy accumulations. A lot of it's going to be wet snow and probably won't even accumulate unless you get under a heavier snow burst. So Monday's snow accumulation will be based on snow rate more than anything because of the temperature and how quickly we drop below freezing, of course. But it doesn't look to be many travel problems Monday morning. Now, Monday afternoon, we could start to develop problems. And then certainly Monday night into Tuesday, and then perhaps even Wednesday morning. But Monday morning's commute at this point does not look to be in any jeopardy of icy roads. So here's the setup. This is the look at the pieces of energy on the GFS rotating around. Here's our system diving in. Oh, let me change my wand so you can see the color a little better there. You can see the system diving in from the Great Lakes right into the Ohio Valley. These little X's are little vorts. You want to be north of them. That's where your precipitation would be. So little snow showers again. And rain on the leading edge of this Sunday night. As we head into Tuesday, again, that's the core of the coldest air over us. And the vorts are to our south, so we'll have snow showers, again, generally in our area at that point. And overall, temperature profiles with this drop in the Arctic air, not as cold. The trend is to be to raise these numbers up a few degrees each and every model run. So, yes, you can increase the moisture in that kind of a scenario, but you lower the snow ratio as well. And we noticed that. Yesterday we had snow ratios, a slight blue line, closer to 20 to 25 to 1. Today, the trend is closer to 10 to about 15 to 1. So it's come down a little bit on the snow total in GFS, about 1.7. But again, it's higher in the moisture content. These blue bars are higher than we had yesterday. But again, it's a compensating deal. You can have more moisture, lower the snow ratio, or you can lower the moisture and have a snow ratio. It's always about balancing things out, and it's kind of set up. Not a big snow. Got to stress that. This is not a winter storm. It's more impact-based than anything on the idea that timing and the wind with this, a lot of wind as well, reducing visibility, and these snow squalls passing through. It's going to make snow accumulations difficult, first off, because the wind's going to blow the snow around. So it's going to be hard to measure a lot of the snow amounts that do fall in very light chunks, basically, throughout this period. But also keep in mind that the roads will be slick, and that's something we keep in mind as well. And there could be some convective type snow showers, but the general snow map, and once we get to the point of drawing a snow map, we're probably going to have to be very, very general for the entire area of a general 1 to 2 inch kind of deal. It's going to be nearly impossible to kind of narrow down anything higher than that. Can't rule it out, but I mean, the early guess is that we're going to have to do a widespread map. All right, so here are the computer model forecasts. It says Thursday night and Friday. I forgot to change the banner there, but this is for the event. Again, the NAM is just not able to see it, so it's showing those lighter amounts, but not quite there. RPM can't even see it yet. It will once we get to the future runs here. GFS can. Notice the general trend, though. The best chance for the higher totals of an inch or two, likely north and east of Louisville, and the Euro is very similar to idea. In fact, more toward the orographic lift in the mountains of East Kentucky, which is very, very common. And two, the idea that most of the vorts travel just southwest of Louisville, so a lot of the snow will be north of that track, which would put it, again, northeast of Louisville. Not a big snow is the point why I want to clarify on that. Here's, again, a look at the upper levels, because then once that system leaves, we get into the problem for Friday into next weekend. here is a chunk of the polar vortex. There's another little chunk up here, another little chunk up here. And here comes energy moving in the Pacific Northwest. Now, the GFS is showing that the polar vortex is still around us here on Friday. We get a little piece of energy that rotates through, but the polar vortex at this point, this chunk anyway, begins to race quickly to north and east. A couple smaller pieces do wrap around on the back side to allow this piece to dive in, but the track right now would be a rain to snow deal for probably Friday night, next Friday night into next Saturday. This system would fall behind it. It has the potential to maybe be a snow system for us, but it'd be later, probably closer to the 17th of February, based on the GFS timing. Here is the Canadian model showing on next Friday, about a week from today. It shows a piece of the polar vortex kind of gets dropped to the south. It's not really a piece much longer. It's just a piece of very cold air, but it allows for that drop, again, of that system of rain to snow. It's a little quicker with the energy into the northwest. The GFS had it here. Canadian has it here. We'll see how that plays out. The model really can't see that far out to see how that's going to appear to us. That would be toward the end of Valentine's weekend. So some timing differences already showing up here just between those two models. And then we get to the Euro. Here is the Euro for Valentine's morning yesterday at this time. Polar vortex, or at least a chunk of the coldest air, pulling away, storm track generally across the plain states. For us, likely an overrunning setup. This could have been a mix, but likely going to rain and then probably backlash snow. So here it is yesterday, and this is what it looks like today. Again, yesterday and today. It's like an eye doctor. This is where it is now centering it. And notice what it's trying to do, it's not really a polar vortex, just a strong Arctic high builds in to the north, and it's going to push the slow more to the south, across the Four Corners into Texas. That makes it interesting for us for Valentine's. In fact, when you roll the storm all the way out by Valentine's night into that Monday, it gets really interesting. A little pressure over the Arklatex area, heavy snow on the backside. There could be some warming aloft with this. It's hard to tell how much would be, but it doesn't look like rain because right now surface temps based on the Euro alone, just with that idea, in around 20 degrees. So yes, for snow lovers, you bots fans, that really opened your eyes up. Like, woo, all right. This could be a big one for Valentine's. Yes, the Euro says that. I'm not going to ignore that. But the GFS, and we can't tell what the Canadian shows, but especially GFS, certainly not on par. Not surprising. And keep in mind the Euro has a better track record on this situation, even a week out. But just know that the forecast, once we get past these light snow events next week, next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, forecast once we get into next weekend is very up in the air. And I know a lot of you are trying to plan your plans for your sweetheart for Valentine's. Whether do you go out to dinner or do you stay at home in case it snows? Just stay tuned. If I had to guess right now, this is just me talking right now, if you wanted to plan for your sweetheart and not have to worry so much about what could happen with the models in the system, I would take them out on Saturday night, which a lot of you probably are going to do anyway, the night of the 13th, versus that Sunday, because Sunday may become more of a problem. So stay tuned. We'll keep an eye on the trends, and of course, as always, we'll just watch it day by day. See you later.